delightful morning to one and all. The dark clouds sparkle with twinkling stars. The garden replete with joy and life, because you have gathered here. The accoutrements of welcome is passion and ceremony. Love makes our friends a little dearer. Peace brings us all a little nearer. A cordial and a warm welcome. Let us all rise and welcome the graduating students and esteemed dignitaries. Graduation is an occasion for celebration. Reverend Father Melvin Pinto Estate, Rector, St. Aloysius College Institutions, Professor P.L. Dharma, Registrar, Evaluation, Mangalore University, Reverend Dr. Praveen Martis Estate, Director of St. Aloysius Institute of Education, Dr. Mrs. Farita Vegas, Principal, Mrs. Bella Loco, Vice Principal, Mrs. Sandhya and Mrs. Sarika Rodriguez, conveners of the program, graduating batch of 2019, invitees, guests, teachers, and my dear friends, a warm welcome to you on this graduation day celebration. Prayer is yearning of the heart to be one with the Maker, an invocation of His blessings. It is a communication with the divine that can be whispered, chanted, or expressed in the work we do. Let's invoke God's blessing through a prayer song. Kindly remain seated in prayerful silence. Dance is the joy of movement and heart of life. Today, my friends Risha and Sharanya are all set to render a gracious welcome to the artistic expressions.
सुमुखं त्रिनेत्रं जटाधरं पार्वती सदा शिवं रुद्रं चिदम्बरेशं हृदि वेण्टियं गिरीशं हृदि भावयामि 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 शंभो शिव शंभो स्वयंभो 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 गंगाधर शंकर करुणाकर मम भवसागर तारक गंगाधर शंकर करुणाकर मम भवसागर तारक शंभो शिव शंभो स्वयंभो शंभो शिव शंभो स्वयंभो निर्गुण परब्रह्म स्वरूप गम गम भूत प्रपंच रहित निर्गुण परब्रह्म स्वरूप गम गम भूत प्रपंच रहित निज गुण विहित निरांतर शम्भो शिव शम्भो स्वयंभो 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 शिव शम्भो स्वयंभो शिव शम्भो स्वयंभो
Thank you for that gracious welcome. A glimpse of the annual report of the year 2017-19 is shown through a visual presentation.
Evaluation Annual University, the Chief Guest, Reverend Father Praveen Manis, SJ, Director, graduating students, parents, staff, and students are extending a warm welcome to all. I will present before you a snapshot of the curriculum and co-curricular events of the secured 100% results, the BA degree examinations held in February 2020 by the Bangalore University. The topics are Mr. Reshma Maslinis Progress and Ms. Vanchika Matthias. We are indeed proud of our students and we congratulate them. To commence the academic year 2017-19, we had 50 students enrolled. The following were the members of the Student Council. Student President Erwin Paz, Student Vice President Vanchika Matthias, Sports Secretary Eric, Cultural Secretary Shreya Yu, English Secretary Anam, Social Secretary Ashwin Disipwa, Science Secretary. They were actively involved in the college activities.
Programs conducted during the academic year. A 2-day orientation program was conducted by different resource persons. A symposium on the importance of women education and empowering women, and a talk on visual teaching aids, dance skills and types of dance, drawing, painting, and preparing craft. The following and creativity through neuroplasticity, phonetics, symbols, and Western singing, cooking without fire, fresh class arrangement, and creative writing. Observation of International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, Harmony Day, World Human Rights Day, Autism Day, World Environment Day, Traditional Day, Karnataka Rajyotsava, election, retreat and prayer service were conducted. To foster interaction among different BA college students,
I kindly request Dr. Mrs. Farita Vedas, To formally commence this graduation ceremony, I invite up to the gathering.
Reverend Father Michael President of today's program, Dr. P.L. Dharma, the Chief Guest, Reverend Father Praveen Marcus Estate, our Director, parents, esteemed guests, faculty, support staff, students and members of the graduating class, a warm welcome to you on this day. It is my great pleasure this splendid morning to welcome you to St. Aloysius Institute of Education's 12th graduation day. Class of 2017-19, you have long anticipated this day with eagerness. Certainly, all of us gathered here today, both in real time as well as in the online mode, we are here in an unusual situation where we are celebrating both here offline as online. And these two words, offline and online, has become a part of our vocabulary. So I have tremendous pride in welcoming all of you on this day. On this occasion, we have with us an encouraging and inspiring charismatic leader, Reverend Father Melvin Pinto Estate, the Rector and President of today's program. His positive energy, kindness, and hands-on attitude has endeared him to all of us. It's indeed an honor to welcome you, Father. I request our Director to welcome Father last. We are honored to have amidst us a distinguished academician and a skillful administrator, Professor P.L. Dharma, registered evaluation, Mangalore University, as the chief guest of our program. In spite of his busy schedule, he has made it possible to be with us today. I thank you for gracing us on this occasion and I extend a cordial welcome to you. I request Jana Logo, our Vice Principal, to record a warm welcome. I'm extremely happy to welcome Reverend Father Praveen Marcus Estate, our energetic director. He is a person who inspires enthusiasm and excellence. A warm welcome to you. A cordial welcome to the parents, guests, for having accepted our invitation and gracing us with your presence. A warm welcome to the faculty, the support staff of our institution. Your commitment has made this day possible. I also take this opportunity to acknowledge the dedication of Mrs. Sandhya and Mrs. Sarita Rodriguez, the conveners of today's program. Dear class of 2017-19, this day is about you and what you have achieved. It's a day of celebration, a day of looking back and allowing an experience of heartfelt joy in catching up with our graduates. It marks the end of one phase and the beginning of another. I thank you all for your presence here today. During this time of the viral pandemic, we have missed your offline presence. Yet, a good number of you have come together for this occasion from near and far, and that shows the connection that you have with your institution. I invite you to strengthen this bond. Dear students, let me also take this opportunity to remind you that your education is not only for you, but for our country and the world. You must continue to learn and relearn because your success depends upon your flexibility, in challenging boundaries and redefining them, especially in a time where remote learning has made it a challenge, both academically as well as emotionally. Make St. Aloysius Institute of Education proud by being individuals committed to empowering your students through social change and to the planet. Be willing to make a difference. Your presence here has enhanced our joy, and all of us extend a loving welcome to you. Dear students of the second and the fourth semester, although your offline presence was small, your joy in waiting to greet the graduating students was seen in the effort that you were willing to put. An affectionate welcome to you all. Once again, a warm welcome.
Welcome to you too. We have come to the most significant part of today's program. May I request our principal to request Reverend Father Melvin Pinto Estate, Director, to declare the Graduation Day 2019 open.
Reverend Father, may I have the privilege of requesting you to declare Graduation Day 2019 open.
The Graduation Day of St. Aloysius Institute of Education has been called upon to confer the degree in education upon candidates who in the examinations held for the purpose by the Bangalore University have been certified to be worthy of receiving the degrees. I declare Graduation Day 2019 open.
Thank you, Father Melvin Pinto Estate, for declaring the Graduation Day open. We now stand up when their names are called out and
Martin. Shivangi Uday. Amanda George. Harshita S. Jennifer D'Souza. Josna Joylin Pinto. Kaushalya. Pavani. Vanshika. Mercy. Mokshika. Premalata Mandel. Priyanka. Reshma Maslenis. Riyaz. Deepika. Samiksha. Shiksha. Shivani. Shreya. Shruti. Teresa Mary. Usha. Vinci. Xenia. And the online student, Anna. Eric. Sharmila Dimender.
Yes, ma'am.
Divya.
Present, ma'am.
Geeta.
Present, ma'am.
Janet.
Present, ma'am.
Ashwin.
I'm present, ma'am.
Irvin.
Present, ma'am.
Cherry. Cherry. Lakpiro. Chinsi.
Present, ma'am.
Joylin.
Present, ma'am.
Reverend Father, the candidates whose names are set out in the list for the award of degree in education. They have been examined and found qualified by the University of Mangalore for the degree to which they may be admitted.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the president of today's program, I admit all the candidates presented to the bachelor's degree in education of Mangalore University, and in token thereof, they may be presented with the certificate.
Thank you, Father. We kindly request our Chief Guest, Professor P.L. Dharma, Registrar, to give away the certificates. As the principal calls out the names, I request the graduating students to receive their certificates from our Chief Guest and then come back to their respective place.
Anam, I request Anam's parents. Shivani, Amanda, Harshita, Jennifer, Josna, Kaushalya, Pavani, Vanchika Matthias, Mercy Divya Pinto, Mokshita, Premlata Montero, Priyanka, Reshma Maslinas, Riaz, Deepika, Shamishka, Shiksha, Shivani, Shreya, Shruti, Teresa May, Usha, Vinci, and Zenia.
Thank you, sir. We take this opportunity to honor the toppers of 2019 batch. We kindly request Dr. Praveen Martis Estate, Director of our institute, to acknowledge the toppers. The first place goes to Sister Reshma Mastarayan Sivaka. And the second place goes to Miss Vanchika Matthias. Thank you, Father. We have come to the most solemn part of this ceremony, the oath taking. Reverend Father Melvin Pinto Estate will administer the oath to the graduating students. I request the students of the batch 2017-19 to stand and repeat the words of the oath after Father. In the beginning of the oath, the President says I, after which each of you is expected to say your name one by one. Kindly rise, the graduating students. हमारे कुछ हो रहा है अंदर
Check.
मीटिंग है मीटिंग कॉलेज का है
I will repeat after me. I,
Ashita, I, Jennifer D'Souza, I, Manchika Matthias, I, Mercedes Pinto, I, Reshma Mascarenas, I, Shiksha, I, Shivani, I, Sia.
hereby
Hereby
solemnly declare and promise
and promise
in the name of God
in the name of God
that I shall carefully
that I shall faithfully
and faithfully fulfill the duties of
the duties of
the profession
the profession
to which I am admitted
to which I am admitted
by virtue of
by virtue of
my diploma,
my diploma,
and that I shall
that I shall
regard my profession
regard my profession
as an opportunity
as an opportunity
in service that on all occasions
in service
to maintain
to maintain
its purity
its purity
and reputation,
and reputation,
and that I shall
that I shall
never depart
never depart
from the straight path of their honorable exercise
from the straight path of the honorable exercise,
by making my knowledge
by making my knowledge
subservient to unworthy ends.
subservient to the unworthy ends. Please be seated. Thank you, Father. Experience is not what happens to a person. It is what a person does with what happens to him or her. Passing through BA is a journey of excitement and anxiety, fear and challenges. Surely, you, the graduating students, may have plenty to share about the rich experience of the BA course. We call upon Irving Pai, Student President, and Ms. Vanshika Matthias, Vice President of the Student Cabinet 2017-19, to share their experience.
Respected dignitaries, my dear teachers, administrative staff, dear first year and second year friends, and my fellow graduates, what greetings to you all. I am indeed delighted to see you all on this occasion. In spite of the adverse conditions the pandemic, we are able to witness this beautiful program through our digital platform. I apologize for my inability to be present over there the program. But I salute the principal and my teachers for their thoughtfulness in making it possible to join online to be the part of our graduation day ceremony. Every end has a new beginning. Graduation day is for us actually to start from today. This is the day to leave the comfort zone and start journey for a new reality. It may not be easy for us to take a new responsibility and adjust to new environment. But the knowledge we have gained, we have inculcated, and the values instilled in us will help us to face new challenges in the right way. I would say that I cannot measure how beneficial the 2 years training program But as I recall, I can list out the learning experience as developed confidence, tolerance, adjustment, cooperation, and developed overall personality. The college had undergone a prescribed syllabus in order to provide us different forms of experience and positive effects with regard to what we have been trained in. At the early start of the training, we were introduced to the philosophy of education, psychology, school management, and microteaching. These basic and fundamental subjects highlight the meaning and importance of education and the role of the teacher in education. In the subsequent semester, theoretically and practically, we have gained immense knowledge, which is useful to understand how students undergo training. Days of celebration, rural immersion, workshop, and seminar have helped us in developing leadership, confidence, interest, self-esteem, attitude, civic and social responsibility, resilience, and concern for the society and environment. To improve our linguistic skills and organization skills, to provide technical knowledge and develop the art of the application instrumental materials, the college has done such efforts that helps us reach our goals to become qualified teachers by the end of this training. On this great occasion, on behalf of my companions, I would like to thank Reverend Father Rainitis Father, former rector, and Reverend Father Praveen Martis, Director SAIE, for their able and support. Sincere thanks to Dr. Mrs. Parita Vekas, the principal, Mrs. Delna Lobo, the vice principal, and our method masters, Mr. Jerome D'Souza, Mr. Sandhya, Mrs. Josna B, Mr. Sarika Rodriguez, and Mr. Santosh Putado, for standing by us at all times and guiding us to grow academically, emotionally, culturally, and spiritually. Thanks to the administrative staff of our college, their constant help in carrying out day-to-day activities. Thanks to my juniors for being a part of our journey, and thanks to my fellow graduates for your enormous love and cooperation during 2 years service. Thank you once again.
Deliver this speech is way past. I would have begun by saying, we are cocoons breaking off to fly. But I can't say that, for I have flown like a butterfly into the midst of what I was trained for. And here I come, but as a butterfly, having savored the nectar that the flower of education nourishes every educator with. So, the authenticity of what I say now, albeit brief, is much greater than it would have ever been. Good morning, respected Rector, Father Praveen Martis, respected Rector, Reverend Father Melvin Pinto SJ, Registrar Evaluation, Mangalore University, Dr. P.L. Dharma, Reverend Father Praveen Martis, our Director, our Principal, Dr. Mrs. Parita Vegas, Vice Principal Mrs. Delna Lobo, faculty, family members, and all my dear friends. 2 years ago, each one of us made the firm decision to pursue a graduate degree course in this institution. I bet in the middle of it, we wanted to give up. We wanted to pack our books and bags and go home. Honestly, that would have been an easier choice, but we stuck to it all, thick and thin. So for what lies ahead, I encourage you to do the same. Today, we are gathered here to celebrate our success. One, we can raise our heads high, for we have overcome all the challenges life threw at us in the past 2 years. It has not been easy, but we have reached the end of this hurdle. It is also the beginning of a new one. And I want to encourage you never to relent. I also want to encourage you to use the same spirit that you have shown, the sacrifices that you have made, the sleepless nights that you have endured, to touch and transform the lives of all those children entrusted to your care. Education, they say, is a key to success. And I add that a transformative education is a candle that will light our paths when darkness shows its ugly face. It is the key that will open the doors of despair, the key that strengthens hope. And this is the type of education that was provided to us in this beautiful institution. Well, I will be a denizen of the alien world if I don't connect this moment with the pandemic. I don't intend in any way to echo back the sadness we have all been part of through the past few months, but to emphasize the uniqueness of an unexpected days that we as educators have been placed on. And with this backdrop, my heart overflows with gratitude. Yes, it's immeasurable gratefulness. Having passed by the portals of this august institute, whose appellations echoes among the prestigious institutes of the nation, I am delighted to have been groomed here to be an educator with a difference, with the adage that inebriates in me in all I do. Men and women, for and with others, ever searching for the margins, all for the greater glory of God. And as I began, I said I'm a butterfly. Yes, for everyone who has journeyed through the porches of St. Aloysius is ever prepared to face the world. The unexpected days for an educator as a result of the pandemic did not dampen my exuberance. In fact, I am soaring high with the wings strengthened by SAIE. The foundation built here seems really firm for a huge edifice of my vocation and not merely a profession as an educator with a difference. And as I say, I know I speak for all my companions, those who are physically present with us and those who are watching. Someone rightly said, you cannot control the length of your life, but you can control and contribute to its breadth, depth, and height. We certainly do not know the length of our contribution as educators, but SAIE has taught us it's the breadth, depth, and height of our giving that truly matters. It was that obstinate stress on quality that has made us educators with a difference, and we ought to contagiously spread this unique difference everywhere we go. Brevity, they say, belongs to the wise, and so let me aim to be wise. God doesn't call us to be successful, He calls us to be faithful. Therefore, as Mother Teresa used to say, I'm like a little pencil in God's hand. He does the thinking, He does the writing. The pencil has only to be allowed to be used. With our formation here in this institution, we can easily let God use us as His instruments in the world of education that lies ahead of us. Thank you. God bless us all.
Thanks for sharing your experience with us. An inspiring quote by Thomas Alva Edison: the most certain way to succeed is always to try one more time. And our director, Reverend Father Praveen Marty's estate embodies it. We are awaiting your message, Father.
Respected Reverend Father Melvin Joseph Pinto, Rector of St. Aloysius Institutions and the President of today's graduation day, Professor P.L. Dharma, the Registrar Evaluation, Mango University and the Chief Guest of the graduation day, Dr. Farita Vegas, the Principal, Mrs. Della Lobo, the Vice Principal, my dear Chief Guests, esteemed guests, parents, members of the faculty, graduating students, both on offline and online, and my dear friends. I'm extremely happy to be here for the graduation day of our students. I have gone through your growth period in the last 2 years. Though I was not coming regularly here, the principal was here, so I used to come for the important programs, and I've seen the activities here, the way you have that energy and dynamism and all that you have formed here. I feel extremely happy. I would like to congratulate all the graduating students today for graduating from SAIE Graduation. It was a great dream, I'm sure, that you all had, as Scholastic, Arvind, and also Vanshika beautifully mentioned. And all of you have done a lot of work, and we have seen the reports that everything went on very well, except the pandemic. There's also mention was made, but that was a time of challenge and also the time of opportunity. A lot of things happened to us, and also it was a time of introspection and learning. When Vanshika said about the butterfly, I remember that I would like to speak something about the dragonfly. I remember a little story about the insects. There was a colony of insects in the bottom of the pond, and every now and then, one of the insects would climb up through that lily stalk and would come out and disappear. And that particular insect would never come back. All these insects were wondering what really happened to that particular insect or whatever insect that has gone away and never come back. They said, now onwards, whoever goes out of this water, they must come back. So they take a solemn pledge and say that we'll always come back and explain to you what went there outside that water. So the very insect, that water bug that suggested, happens to be the one who started climbing up that lily stalk and reached the surface of the water, sat on the lily leaf, and then slowly underwent that period of metamorphosis and started flying high like a dragonfly. It was really enjoying that newfound freedom. All of a sudden it has come out and enjoying there, darting around, flying, and all that was done. And at that time she was completely forgotten that he has to come back and explain to the others. After some time, it came back and rested on the lily leaf. It was trying to remember itself, and suddenly remembered, yes, I got a pledge to me. I'm at that pledge, and I must go back. That was my promise. I must go back and tell my friends what really happens outside. I have now completely transformed myself. I'm another kind of a being now. So it takes off and tries to enter the water. Suddenly it felt itself that it cannot enter. Again came back and said, now what should I do? I've made that promise to go back, but now I cannot go back at all. What should I tell my friends? It seems this particular dragonfly had many realizations at that moment. And one of the realizations is that it is a transformed butterfly or a dragonfly. It can never ever go back. Transformation. That is going beyond, transcending oneself. It has transcended itself. It can never ever go back. I think that's the realization I'm sure all of you, the graduating students, will definitely have. You all came with an aspiration here to our college, and today, with that growth, with the holistic growth that you have acquired, you can tell the other friends that you are transformed. You are another kind of a person altogether because you are evolved through that period of training and you have come out successfully today. And second realization that it had was the aspiration. It said that one of you also mentioned, the valedictorian, that we cannot live in a comfort zone. Only when it allowed itself to give up, it could come out of the water and fly and again explore something which is new. And that can happen to anyone, and it definitely happen to all of you here, my dear graduating students. You had that dream and that desire that you wanted to come to this institution or do your graduation to become an educator and educator with a difference. And that has happened to you. You are an educator today with a difference. You are a teacher with that difference. There are three ways of becoming a teacher. I would say the first way that I must love my vocation as a teacher. I must love my profession as a teacher. Only when I love my profession as a teacher, I can go beyond. I can transform myself. I can also transform the others. In the Indian language, in Sanskrit, they say for a teacher, the very word that is used is guru. That is to dispel the darkness. Unless and until I dispel the darkness of my life, I cannot help the others. I'm sure these 2 years of your training has helped each one of you to dispel the darkness, or at least to understand, to become aware of your own self, so that you can help the others, the students that you are meeting tomorrow in your classes. And secondly, the love for the subject. You may be teaching history or economics or whatever subject. Unless you truly love that particular subject, you cannot be passionate. You cannot inspire your students. Today we always say that you must inspire our students. How do you inspire unless you love the subject that you teach? You involve yourself, engage yourself, then you can definitely help your students. And thirdly, the love for the students. Unfortunately, during this time of pandemic, we had online classes. I think that is where we all struggled as educators. That emotional bonding was missing there. Wanted to see our students in front of us. And that is the bonding that happens only when you love your students. When you deeply love your students, you'll have different kinds of students coming to your class. Only when you love them, you'll understand them better. You can also have that emotional bonding with them and definitely make a difference in their lives. So my dear graduating students, remember a few of the things that I just now mentioned. It's also a learning process for all of us. Let us all learn together and definitely make a difference. I would like to once again congratulate you, also thank the principal here and the vice principal and the faculty members for training you wonderfully in this institution. Thank you. God bless us.
Father, we are happy to bring out the Aloysian Chronicles, which highlights various activities of the Institute conducted during the academic year 2017-19. I kindly request the chief guest and dignitaries on the dais to release the newsletter. I also request Mr. Jerome D'Souza, Assistant Professor, to guest. Thank you, dignitaries. The supreme quality, without it, success is not possible. We have amidst us a well-known personality who needs no introduction. Yet, on this occasion, we consider it our privilege to introduce the chief guest. I request Mrs. Sarika Rodriguez, Assistant Professor, to introduce the chief guest to the audience.
Good morning to all. I take great pleasure to introduce the chief guest of this graduation day, Dr. P.L. Dharma, Registrar, Evaluation, Mangalore University. Dr. Dharma is a renowned academician and efficient administrator. He has obtained his Masters in Political Science, securing first rank with gold medal from Mangalore University. He was awarded a doctorate degree in political science for the thesis titled political participation and mobilization in Coorg district from Karnataka University. Research is his passion. His research papers are published in many national and international journals. He has guided several research projects. 8 scholars have completed their PhD degree under his guidance, and currently he is guiding 8 students in their research work. He started his teaching career in 1989 and has vast teaching experience of 30 years in the Department of Political Science, Bangalore University. As an academician, he has served in many educational bodies of Bangalore universities and other universities too. To mention a few, he has served as a member of BOS and BOE, member of NAC, member of Ambedkar Studies Center, member of Nehru Studies Center, member of Women's Studies, member of Anti-Ragging Committee, member of Chaudhaya Studies Center of Bangalore University. Dr. Dharma has served as the chairperson of Department of Political Science, Bangalore University, and the chairman of PG Examination, Public Administration, Kerala University, Bangalore. He is serving as chairperson of Board of Examination, Kuempu University, Gulbarga University, Mysore University, Karnataka State Open University, Bangalore University, Calicut University, Central University, Kasaragod. He is working in Public Service Commission as examiner of UPS Delhi, Hyderabad, Karnataka and Orissa. His allied academic activities are: he is a visiting professor, Calicut University, director of Gandhian Studies Center, Jaipur University, chief coordinator, UGC Training Center, and director for Student Welfare Association, Bangalore University. He was the editor of Karnataka Journal of Political Science for 3 years. His inspiration articles on social concern are published in many journals and daily newspapers. He has served as a resource person at national and international seminars. Dr. Dharma has been rendering extensive services like interacting with the students in the government-run schools located in and around the university and mentoring them in their studies and other activities. He also helps them to develop their personalities, identifying their strengths and sharpening their skills. It was during the workshop at Gandhian Studies Center in Jaipur University he took the decision of rendering extensive services to the marginalized. He has established a creative NGOs to work for the accident-free roads called Project Zero 2050 and an NGO Road to Peace, which aims at making our roads safer to the children and to make the road as a symbol of coexistence and secular place. Being humane, he communicates with students and everyone with openness and modesty. He is kind, approachable at any time, and his huge fans on the university campus witness this. Currently, Dr. P.L. Dharma is serving as a registrar, evaluation, Bangalore University. Sir, your presence has multiplied the beauty of this program and doubled our joy. Once again, an affectionate welcome to you, dear sir.
Thank you, ma'am. We are fortunate to have amidst us a versatile and a charismatic registrar in Professor P.L. Dharma. So, we are enthusiastic to listen to you.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. For the next at least few minutes, I want to speak in Kannada. ವೇದಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಮುಖರೇ, ಪ್ರಪ್ರಥಮವಾಗಿ ಎರಡು ಮಲ್ಟಿ ಟಾಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡುವ ಎರಡು ಪ್ರಮುಖ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳೇ. I call multitasking because I'm going to elaborate in English. respected principal, all the dignitaries on the days, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಿರಿಯ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಗ್ರಾಜುಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಿರಿಯ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, invitees, parents, friends, and those who are there online and also offline here. What a wonderful time it is. We started saying online and offline. We started saying social distance and then physical distance. I'm reminded of not a story which Father was beautifully well saying. I'm reminded of the significance of the life. Before I speak few words about your graduation and then the kind of mission that you're going to carry out, let me tell you how creative we have been for the last so many months. Offline, online, every time a sister comes here, my sister comes, not because she's a sister, I'm calling her sister, she comes and sanitizes, make sure that I am carefully here, so that whatever has happened in the next previous, speaker doesn't spread to me, or whatever I do doesn't go to the other person, or whatever. What a careful life that you people started living here. Look at the way how you used to enjoy 6-7 months ago, and the way you have been organized here, and the way we have been, wearing a mask. We are, in a way, thinking differently all these months. Are we scared of the death? Pardon me for using a very bad word in a very wonderful day as well. Dear friends, remember, you have been very careful. You have been more creative. You have been absolutely more and more scientific. You have been absolutely enthusiastic to take care of yourself, your family, and the people around you. This has never been the story earlier. This has never been the life with us earlier. Ask 3 questions. What has happened to me for the last 6 to 7 months? What has happened to my friends? What has happened to neighborhood? And then that becomes your life. You have completely transformed. You're completely transformed. For the last 20 years, I'm not talking of your age, for the last 20 years, you've been praying. Any number of times you have prayed God. You respected the senior. You respected the experienced people. Nothing changed your life significantly. But a small virus has not just threatened all of us, has completely transformed the lifestyle. That's the reason why some of our friends are kept away, even though they want to spend some of time with the greatest, institutions they are not allowed to. But even if they are interested, they cannot make it. And even if they are interested to know, remember, when you talk loudly, your voice is properly heard, your voice is absolutely melodious, but those people enjoying or not enjoying with absolutely some disturbing voices, whatever. You have learned to live with so much of problems now, my dear friends. That's the reason why I wanted to remind you all that you want to speak about. A young friend of ours, a student leader, and the madam was talking about very IFR, Vamshika. Look at the way she imagined herself, created herself, and then she wants to become a fly. And then she wants to become and she did in fact herself, that she was in the form of butterfly. Make sure that we do not have wings to fly. Let us do this more systematically, my dear friends. This graduation day is a day of jubilant moment. This graduation day is a day of your life. This graduation day is a day to remember, cherish, and then shoulder the biggest responsibility of your life. It is not just to celebrate. This program is organized, and this very premier institution is bestowing a greatest responsibility on your shoulder. The moment you carry your certificate and go on to the institution, remember, you're taking the responsibility along with you. You're shouldering the responsibility along with you, and then you're going. I have only 4 points that I have jotted down. Before that, I want to see the kind of the quotes that was administered to you by the rector. the one word that really touched me so much is this, that is an opportunity. My dear friends, for the last so many years we are living in India, for the last so many decades we are living here, I always have been questioning myself as a teacher what I have done in university for the last more than 3 decades. 35 years of teaching experience, I at the end of the day ask a question whether I have done my job properly, whether I have taught my students properly, whether I have allowed my students to ask questions so that I prepare homework, I give them the answer, befitting answer so that they are happy. Have I been a good teacher for the last 24 years? Have my friends been good teachers here? If all of us have been a good teacher, why is that we have not been able to produce a wonderful city here, wonderful society here, a wonderful system so that all of us could have lived happily? I'm asking you, my dear friends, whatever has happened, but you are living now, you are beginning a new life. Carry this dream, as our friend said, be a butterfly, be a dragonfly, be somebody, be someone else, so that you become part of everybody's life. Now, why is this graduation day is arranged for all of us? Why is that you think that you are graduated? You are graduated to do what? I'm always asking this question. When I graduated, when I was, given the rank certificate and then all kinds of things, why is that the institution gave this responsibility to me? I was striving, struggling, traveling, making travels just to see whether I can make a good teacher. You are graduated to do number one, which I think is very important, is to shoulder an independent responsibility. My dear friends, after the independence, I have always seen, every time we, take up the responsibility, we are given a responsibility. I'm a government employee. That's the reason why I started talking in Kannada, because that's my respect to honor that I have to extend to my government. Every time we have enjoyed a position, we have always dependent on everybody. A friend from distant place, I don't know where from he spoke, he was very faithfully recognizing the service done by the administrative staff. What a wonderful mind and the heart that he has. Now, what is the independent responsibility that you are shouldering? As you, enjoy your positions, you go up in life, you become a good teacher, you become an administrator, you become a principal, you become a rector, you become everybody. And you're being too much depending upon everybody. Now look at what the new education policy says. This says that we need to have an Atmanirbhar Bharat. What a wonderful idea it is. I get goosebumps to read, not because it comes from a government, not because it comes from a Prime Minister. I really feel that I'm going back to my village. Young friends, you're going to be in one or the other colleges, you're going to be in one or the other schools, high schools, wherever. You are going to work, and I'm sure most of you are, going to work, except there is a God. I really congratulate you. Well, congratulations to you. You lived so happily, man, yeah? I'm so happy. Around all beautiful girls, you lived very happily. But remember, this is so nice. All you guys are going to be a good teacher. But when you become a teacher, you think of a day, at least you think of a day, if not every day, at least you think of a day called graduation day, where you don't depend upon anybody. With due respect to my friend Ravi, I'm sorry, and with due respect to my young friend sitting here, and the music man, the sound engineer, and the photographers, videographers, can you become, by being a teacher, one among them, so that you do this job yourself, at least once in a year? What does the Atmanirbhar Bharat says? That I, for some time, don't depend upon the others, thereby enact myself as I am. The idea of Atmanirbhar Bharat only says that there must be a dignity of labor to everybody. this country, in spite of all that, all the religious values that we have, this country, still cherishes the hierarchy. The national education policy, my dear young friends, read this. This is a Veda for me. This is a 2020 Veda. This gives me a spirit in which it says that, you have a dignity of labor which you need to do, you ought to do. There is nobody called peon, assistant, nobody called a sweeper, nobody called someone who cleans your washroom. There is nobody called a server. What a wonderful idea is. As youngsters, most creative mind, Vamshika did it, and my friend did it. Being very creative, please see that you create a country, you establish a country for the next generation where we honor and respect the dignity of every labor that is seen and that is experienced. Let us not discriminate people on the basis of the job that they do. Let us not discriminate the things. Human rights program was organized, as the principal's voice was absolutely a melodious voice man. You were saying that we conducted a human rights program. But what do we do? Do we conduct only programs and then leave it and then say goodbye and the thanks and then go? My friends, let the human rights be here, not in the program itself. You be the change yourself. Take the Aloysius along with you. Take this institution along with you, where you become a messenger like these people do. Great people do. You become a messenger where you respect every job that is carried out in India. If at all you want India, new India, if at all you want the new India under the national education policy, the small jobs that we do is to be respected. Unless you do this, remember, India becomes absolutely a different state in the next 10 years. This is one point. You are going to be an independent teacher, and that's why you are graduated to do this job more systematically. 2, I have been here 10 minutes, man. Or 25 minutes over. 2, while at the graduation, what an enthusiastic word that Vamshika gave on behalf of all you guys. When you came up to the stage, received the certificate, I could see 2 things. One is that thank you so much that you did not wear mask. Your eyes bubbles with so much of enthusiasm. And then absolutely enthusiasm. Great smile. Smile of satisfaction. The smile of enjoying an opportunity given to you by the God, which you have achieved. This opportunity was extended to you. That's the reason why I wanted this to be carried out with the permission of the rector. I carried it here. God gave you this opportunity to enjoy this happiness, which I could see through your eyes and then the smile. It was absolutely not artificial. Usually we are known for artificial smiles. We are known for that. But the smile that I saw when you received it, where my signature is also there. That was a wonderful, wonderful moment, my dear friends. What was this happiness is going to be? Till this date, my dear young friends, you have been defining happiness in terms of the material resources that we were possessing. I have everything. I have everything what is there. If I'm not having anything, I can go log into a website and then online shopping. I can get anything provided I have money. Your happiness was equated to the material resources that you have and that you possess. Now you need to define the happiness, my dear friends. That's the reason why the prayers that was rendered here in Canada said that there is something different happiness to you. You need to explore the happiness, my dear friends. You're a teacher and then prepare well and then go. You're a teacher, be a wonderful, English speaker. You're a teacher, be a wonderful Hindi speaker. Don't compromise with quality. And we are not here to compromise with quality. And you fight for that. And that's your right. And if you're not able to do that, spend some time. Sleepless nights. Wonderful words. I remember those things. Sleepless nights. I have not understood anything more, but I understood. Those sleepless nights were to read and understand and then question and then understand the teacher, what she taught in the class. And those sleepless nights were to prepare the points and then get back to the class next day so that I can trouble her by raising questions. Try to be happy, my dear friends, in terms of being a wonderful teacher throughout your life. I have seen people have been visiting temples, mosques, churches every time, but every after prayer come back with chalo, nothing has happened with God. After every class that you deliver, ask the teachers here, after every class that you deliver, you walk raising your chest saying, come on, let me see how happy I am because I delivered a wonderful lecture. Nothing gives you more happiness, my dear friends, than delivering a very well prepared lecture. You just experiment it year afterwards. Nobody will replace, nothing can replace you if you are a wonderful teacher in front of the students. And you can't be a wonderful teacher just because you dress up well, you have a very beautiful professional language, very sophisticated language, nothing. But you are going to be a wonderful teacher provided you make your listeners to listen and attract them to yourself. See the happiness of people. You can see the God in terms of your deeds. You can see the God. You don't need to go to a church, with great respect to the Father here. You don't need to go to a chapel. You don't need to go to a mosque to see this happiness. You can see this happiness here. You can discover. You can be a real researcher here. You can really be a real creator here in terms of doing what we want to do. New education policy is one document which promises the creativity in the class. Please read this. It promises the creativity there. If I am not able to make this FMA, failure mode analysis, in one of my classes, I go back home. Yesterday I was not able to solve the mathematical problem properly. My formula was not right. Yesterday I was not able to deliver a good lecture on physics because I was not able to understand what energy is all about. Go back home, understand your failure mode, why you fail, prepare properly, come back. Please take it more seriously, my dear friends. Teaching job is not an easy job. It is not just, you go and then be a teacher in front of the young toddlers, young students and young minds. Now the young minds are more intelligent than all of us. Come to our university, the postgraduate students are much better than me, though I have 24 years of teaching Indian Constitution. The student gets up and says, why are you giving a lecture on gender? You know what you have done for the last 34 years? You have been one of the educated men and you have been harassing students more than anybody else. Do I have an answer to a young mind? She is so enthusiastic to answer questions against the society because of harassment, exploitation is injected to our blood. It is injected to our blood. And then she has a right to ask this question. I'm therefore asking you, you need to be a very, very different creative teacher. And that's why national policy becomes, education policy becomes very important to me. My dear friends, we need to understand you are graduated to create history. Do I understand history? Do I know what my history was, what the history of this country? Do I understand what my family was, my parents were? You need to know. You absolutely need to know. Unless you know the background of your family, you cannot do anything. No achievement can be done or achieved in the future. You need to know. What is the history that you are creating? Are you going to create a history like Alexander did? Are you going to fight a war? Are you going to fight somebody? You are not going to do anything. You need to be a different man. I want to be a madam, I want to be a teacher like my principal. Nice haircut, nice, good morning itself I came and complimented her. Because I've never seen very nice saree like this. So she's always been a different, madam. With great respect. Now, what is it that I'm trying to tell you? I'm trying to tell you, create a history. Each one of you is blended with a very different talent, like Vamshika did. My younger brother did there through online, with a very special quality, my dear friend. In Hinduism, Hindu philosophy, always it is referred to 5 fingers. Not all the fingers are the same, not even the designs. All biological science students can explain why this happens with. There's a reason why Aadhaar card has your printer. There's a reason why your mobile phone has your fingerprint so that you can operate your mobile phone. Your finger, though it looks alike, all of us have, mine is dark, yours is fair, but still think about it, but they are not the same. The designs are not the same. That's why the God created very differently. Maybe the philosophy is very different. But can you create a history? This is what the creativity is all about. Let us not be what the others are. They created history in their context differently because they wanted to be doing that. But you are in 2020. You are in this pandemic era. You are trying to do all this online. You are trying to do all these kinds of online experiments. Can you create a history? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. How to do it? It is up to you. That's the reason why God has given you an opportunity to be a wonderful student so that you can create a history. Histories have been made. Histories have been written. Histories have been created, manufactured, produced. You please don't do that. You please don't do that. You create a history so that family and then the society and the children and particularly those who are dependents come along with you. They remember you forever. They are all remembered today is because they carried a mass along with them. Whom do we carry today? How many people every time praise large number of people here? They praise because I'm here. Once I go out, Mangai. This is what we've been doing. You know what has happened. But there are large number of people, icons, whose memory, dances so much. Whose memory is here in our heart. That's the reason why you are having a potentiality in you, my dear friends. And this institution has given you a strength to test yourself. Test yourself. Let your potentiality come on. And then you become the creator of the history. You make the history of the kind of history that is suitable to your time. The last one, and then I stop there. Let us bring a small change. You're a teacher, you bring a small change. Can we be a little kinder afterwards? See, once I'm in power, the entire phonetics, the language style, the pedagogy that I'm talking about, the methodology that you talk about, can you be a little kind? I've always seen students are being addressed as if that they are subordinates to all of us. I've always seen, the teachers have been absolutely rough and rude. Because they are parents come, namaste madam, parents come, ಒಂದು seat ಕೊಡಿ, parents come, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ನನ್ನ ಮಗು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿದೆ marks, parents come, ಹಾಗಾಗಿದೆ ಹೀಗಾಗಿದೆ. You have been threatening these parents. You have been threatening the students. I do not want to remember my childhood, my dear father. No. I have been threatened by my teachers. It's not because that I became a teacher just to take a revenge on my teachers who threatened me always, who always beat me in the class. No. Why is that the teachers are being blamed all the time? If a student falls sick, immediately parents say, teacher must have done something in the class. Do you know this? Have you ever asked this question? If a student has some psychological disorder, sleeps early, so no khana, no sleep, only watches cartoon, and then he becomes pale all the time, physically not fit, then they immediately relate to the class, chalo, what has happened? Maybe the teacher is wrong. And then they come to the principal with all the complaints asking, and then we have a counseling. What a bad thing to have a counseling in the college. I'm sorry to tell you, my dear father. What a bad thing to have counseling in the college. We are here because the God has sent us to love our students, respect our students, but at the same time, there's a counseling center kept in the college today. I'm one of those who have got it completely opposite. When a teacher is there, when a God gift is given to you, an opportunity is given to you, you are not only a teacher, you are doing a multitasking. Religious people doing the social service simultaneously, doing all kinds of things simultaneously. Is there any boundary for them? Ask them for tomorrow some other work, they are there. I don't visit all your program every day for the set, but I come occasionally, but I get the report from the principal. Remember what I'm trying to say. All these people have been doing multitasking. The priority is there with them, but they're also multitasking. My request, quote and unquote, my request is, my dear young friends, you have absolutely been a gifted, children of the God. You are a gifted God. When you come here with a beautiful dress worn, all look like Malayalis. It reminds me of my golden days here. Look like Malayalis. Here you are an opportunity. It is an opportunity given to you among large number of women who have not seen the doorstep of the school. They don't even have an opportunity to roll bidi and then have their food today. Because the smokers are also number of smokers have come down. Bidi buyers are not there. There is no bidi consumers, cigarette consumers also not there. There is absolutely no job now. That's the reason why the Atmanirbhar Bharat is coming up, where your potentiality is being used. You are so lucky compared to other women here. You are so lucky compared to other women. You are so lucky to speak so fluent clean English compared to so many people who do not even properly use Tulu, Konkani, or any other language as well. I pray God that we will have a wonderful teachers who will in their lifetime produce 1,000 citizens, 1,000 Indian citizens who knows only love, who only knows love, and then the team spirit. And I'm sure you become a teacher not to produce Hindus, Muslims, Christians in India. You produce the citizens, you produce human beings, you produce God-loving individuals, and you produce absolutely wonderful people who can use sweet language so that people love to communicate. Your language style is such that I don't want to communicate. Your language has to motivate somebody so that they will interact with their response. My language is such that I ask you a question, you refuse to answer because that's how the reaction is. Use such melodious, beautiful language so that people love you, so that people just come around you, love to be with you, unlike students. And that's something which I wanted to tell you, my dear friends. I'm not a great speaker to give you a convocation address or a graduation address when there are doyens of religion, when there are doyens of experienced people sitting here. But I have only shared. I'm so lucky to be with all of you guys, and I can see the Atmanirbhar Bharat very, very positive, and I can see you guys, the future. You will be happy throughout because your foundation is very good. As you spoke on the foundation, your foundation is very good. Your future is also secure, provided you have the key. Use this, and I'm sure you're going to build the cat so beautifully that will help us, that will make all those who depend upon you, not just your family, everybody will make them. Thanks for the great opportunity, my dear friends. I thank the principal ma'am, all the rector, and the principal sir, and everybody for the wonderful opportunity where I think after speaking this, my responsibility also has increased. Thank you so much.
For your wonderful, thought-provoking message. Being a good leader isn't about having power over others, but about instilling power in others. Reverend Father Melvin Pinto SJ, our rector, has a big heart and a passion to make this world a better place. We are fortunate that he is amidst us today to give his message.
A very good afternoon to you all. Dear Dr. P.L. Dharma, Registrar Evaluations of Bangalore University and Chief Guest for our day, Dr. Father Martis, we have got Dr. Farida Vegas, our Principal of the B.Ed College, Mrs. Delna Lobo, the Vice Principal, members of the staff, parents, graduating students, and the present students here. First of all, congratulations all the graduating students. I'm so happy that so many of you are present here from the batch to receive your certificates on this beautiful day. I really want to wish you well on this occasion, that you be good teachers. We have just concluded a beautiful graduation day address. The chief guest said he was given 10 minutes. Probably he spoke a couple of minutes extra, but made us feel that it was only 10 minutes. And that's what he was told probably, to give a speech which is only make us feel that it's 10 minutes. I wish you all had some paper and a pen to note down what he had said. Because it was so comprehensive, so very meaningful. He brought in all the elements and the aspects that are required of a teacher. And I'm sure you felt that even if you had thoughts wondering whether you should be a teacher, you must have definitely felt I will have to continue this profession. At least I, who have given up this profession, feel like going back and becoming a teacher. But it's like only a dragonfly who sat on the lily leaf and said, I can't get back to it again. How I regret it. When I did BA back in the 1990s, 89, 90, I had a lot of my classmates, and on the graduation day, I remember speaking to them. Some of them, I asked them, so you're planning to be a teacher somewhere? Believe me, most of them girls, of course, they said, Pinto, this is actually, our parents wanted us to have a BA in order to find a good proposal. How sad. I hope they are good homemakers at least because of their BA education. You will definitely be multitasking as good homemakers, and in so many other ways. BA definitely helps you to be a good homemaker. That's what I believe. And then please take up this profession. We need good teachers in this world. And not just good teachers, as Sir has pointed out, wonderful teachers, happy teachers, teachers who are creative, teachers who are passionate about this profession. Father Praveen Matis very well said about how you need to have a love for your subject, love for your students, and love for your profession. Today you graduate as teachers, and when you go into the world, love your profession. It's sad when on an occasion I saw, we were quite a few of us, and one of them was a teacher, and when introducing ourselves, one of them said, I'm just a teacher. And I felt very, let me tell you honestly, angry, quite annoyed. I called that person aside and said, why did you say I'm just a teacher? You are a teacher because finally every profession needs a teacher. Be it an engineer or a lawyer or a doctor, he has gone through the hands of a teacher. There are many who start thinking today that because we have got online teaching, perhaps this online teaching will be the order of the day, and therefore we will have computers and we gather online knowledge and information. Believe me, that is only information that you receive online. It's a friendly pat on the back that you can give. A little ruffle on the hair that you can give to a small child and say, I'm there with you. So very well pointed out how you could be accompanying the students. That's what you're going to do. I cannot but tell a short story of a boy who loved horses, and he liked to go to the stables and feed the horses. One day when they returned home, it was a little too late and the horses were not fed. So the father called the boy and said, son, go to the stables and feed the horses. So the boy said, Dad, I'm frightened. And then he said, you're frightened? He says, well, I'll give you some light. He lit a lantern. Those were the days you didn't have torches. So he lit a lantern and he said, take this lantern and go towards the stable. And he said, what do you see? And he said, I see light around me. Great. And then he said, where do you go? Then he sees the stable, he sees the door of the house, and from there he opens the door and says, what do you see now? He says, I see the path that is leading to the stable. It's wonderful. Go to the place where you can see, till the light leads you. Keep walking. And from behind, the father kept telling the son, keep walking, my dear son. Halfway down the path, the father called back from home and says, what do you see, son? He says, I can see the door of the stable. says, walk up to that point. He keeps walking to the door of the stable and they say, what do you see now? Open the door. He says, opens the door. What do you see? I see the horses, Dad. He says, wonderful son, feed the horses and come home. I think that's what your teachers have done. The faculty, you're grateful to your faculty here. We have got wonderful teachers who have been here for many years' experience. And so you've learned a lot from them. They have organized so many activities. I'm really, I marvel at the activities that you have had here. Not just the academic, but the co-curricular activities that you have had, which you have learned so many things from. And these people all have taught you and all have told you to hold that lantern and go ahead. Someday you are going to be taking the role of that father who tells his son, go, child, and you are going to do that. You are going to give that light in the hands of the students, young students, and saying, keep walking. And what a great joy. What a great joy to do that, because I don't think there is enough, as much fulfillment, a sense of fulfillment as much is there in a teaching profession. Believe me this. In Kannada they will use the word santrapti, vritti santrapti. You know, that joy of doing some particular job. It is not like, going and doing it every day, but feeling that sense and that satisfaction. And that satisfaction, that vritti santrapti can come only from the fact that you are passionately involved in the work that you are doing. And when you do that, students come back to you. Today I have so many of my students coming back to me and say, Father, you always loved your classes. And believe me, they don't remember too many things of what you have taught them, the mathematics and the science and the English. What they love and remember is the contact, the bond that you had with them. If you have had that bond, that is a lasting bond. And through that bond, you will be communicating so many values to them. And this is a rare opportunity. So I'm pleading with you, don't just become homemakers. Be good homemakers, definitely. But then go beyond that. Go beyond, Father said, transcending. One singer said, butterfly, like a butterfly that flies with immense possibilities. You do not know to what horizons you fly. And keep flying. And so just be passionate about what you are today and be on go ahead, be good teachers. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Father, for your message. Music is the universal language of mankind, and rhythm finds its way into the secret of the soul. My companions are all set to express their good wishes through a wishing song. the present batch to express the feeling of gratitude.
John F. Kennedy says, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. Good morning to you all. Success of any program is participation. I deem it my privilege to thank everyone who was a part of the 12th Graduation Day 2019. My sincere thanks to Almighty God for making today's event a grand success. By His blessings and grace, we were able to make the event what it was. We are very grateful to Reverend Father Melvin Pinto S.J., Rector St. Aloysius Institutions, and President of today's program for accepting to grace this day with His presence. Thank you, Father, for your very insightful efforts. I profusely thank our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor P.L. Dharma, Registrar Evaluation, Mangalore University, for having spared his valuable time to join us in our celebrations. Sir, your address was insightful and one that inspired hope, optimism, and pride in all of us. Thank you, sir. As a token of gratitude, I request Reverend Father Praveen Martis S.J., Director, to hand over a memento to Professor P.L. Dharma. My heartfelt gratitude to our Director, Reverend Dr. Father Praveen Martis S.J., for his guiding vision and constant support. Thank you, Father. My sincere thanks to our Principal, Dr. Mrs. Farita Vegas, who has been the pillar of strength and whose advice and compassionate concern for students is remarkable. Thank you, ma'am, for being the catalyst of change for so many of us. I extend my sincere gratitude to Mrs. Della Lobo, Vice Principal, for helping us whenever and wherever we approach her. Thank you, ma'am. The mind is not a vessel that needs filling, but wood that needs igniting. My dear professors, you have not just filled the students' minds with knowledge, but ignited a passion for their chosen profession. Thank you to all of you. It is always a kind gesture to offer gratitude for the ones who really work hard for the event. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of dedicated coordinators, Mrs. Sandhya and Mrs. Sarika Rodriguez, in the completion of the task. Thank you. I express deep sense of gratitude to all our support staff of the college for their cooperation and timely help rendered to organize this program. A special thanks to Mr. Rizal Arana for his technical support so that we can have the program in both offline and online mode simultaneously. Thank you, sir. Graduation Day is a significant moment of life for every graduating student. Thank you all my graduating friends seated here and join us virtually for cherishing this day with your presence and adding joy to the celebration. Thank you, friends. A special note of thanks to the parents, spouses, and relatives of the graduating students for accompanying them. My expression of appreciation to all my fellow companions for their active involvement, willingness, and cooperation to make this program a grand success. I thank Mr. Ravi Kosavanike for capturing every moment of this event, and Mr. Alfie from Mangalorean.com, Mr. Abhijit from Digi World for the media coverage. I also thank Mr. Diston and Mr. Rakshit for the videography. Once again, thank you one and all.
Prize for the college anchor. shining star, we the sky. Never assign a limit to knowledge and endlessly light the way for others. May God hold you in palm of his hands. Thank you, one and all.
And help in organizing the chair. Students.
Okay, please look here. Wait. Okay, fine. 1 minute. Yes.
Just 1 minute, sir. 1 minute.
1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Just 1 minute. 1 minute. Wait for a minute.
Last 1 minute. Okay, thank you.
Okay, yes, yeah. Yeah, all together. Yes.